Welcome to experiment number 8 for Control System Laboratory. In this experiment, we'll be talking about the simulation of a second order system and study of the effect of PPI, PD and PID controller for a step response. In the previous lab, we have already shown how to simulate a second order system. Now this second order system is being modified by different controllers like the proportional controller defined as P controller, the proportional and integral controller defined by PI controller, the proportional and derivative controller defined as PD controller, and proportional, integral and differential, the three together is called the PID controller. We'll explore the different controllers and we'll see the different effects of changing the value of the controller. The first part of the experiment is the study of the proportional controller, also called the P controller, on the second order system. So in the second order system, you can see this is the transfer function for the forward loop of the second order system with the unity feedback. Here it is the Kp is given by the is a constant and it is the proportional controller. The user has the ability of changing this value, and this Kp will influence the output Cs of the system. Okay, now why we use Kp? There are different reasons for using Kp. The use of Kp is where the system is very slow and we want to make the system faster. What we do is that for a faster system, the system becomes is slightly oscillatory. If we introduce Kp to it, the system becomes oscillatory. Okay, and if we increase the value of Kp, we can make the system much more faster. We are going to check the use of Kp in the following experiment, where we'll be writing the code in MATLAB. So using this using this transfer function from this controls from the block diagram, we can write this transfer function. Okay, where you can see the omega n square is now multiplied by Kp both in numerator as well as in denominator. So we start with our MATLAB program. The first couple of codes are similar. Okay, then we will use L and C values. L making it equal to 1 and C making it 1 microfarad. We can have the omega n as 1 by square root of L into C. We can see you can take a value of zeta of 0.1. Remember, if zeta is between 0 and 1, the system is now oscillatory. Okay, then we form the transfer function, the closed loop transfer function from here. The same transfer function we are going to write here, and then we are going to apply this step response, and we want to see the response. Okay, so this is the generic MATLAB code. We are going to head on to MATLAB and see the result. In the first experiment in the MATLAB, we have written the same code as we have shown in the in your lab manual. Okay, only thing here is that this expression C is equal to 1 e minus 6. It is nothing but 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6. You can write in place of 10, you can write e MATLAB takes as 10 as the value of 10. Okay, now the expression remains the same. Again we have used the value of omega n, then a zeta. Now zeta I have changed in the experiment. The zeta was 0.1. Just we'll check it. Yes, zeta was 0.1. I have used 1 here in order to show you that that the use of Kp improves the system performance. Like it makes a sluggish system a very fast system. For example, when you take zeta equal to 1 and we make kp, the value of kp, let's for example we take it as 1. Okay, we save it. Now next we use this function where it says that s is a Laplace variable. It is the same function we have been using it throughout. Okay, and then we write the closed loop transfer function. Then we apply this step of g. G is the closed loop transfer function. Then you write grid on, so you have vertical and horizontal grids on the figure. Now this line title, this is a command you write after you write if after you write step. Okay, after you write this step command, or if it is a plot command, after you write the plot command you write this title. This tells you if there is a figure being created, this would be the title of the figure. Okay, whatever you write as a title, this function creates writes this title on the top of the figure. Okay, and then we write step info of this uh, transfer function. They tells you all the information of the step response, all the rise time, peak time, uh, the time to settle, the settling time, the overshoot, peak overshoot, all these values will be told by this. Okay, please notice that there is no semicolon after this step info. If you write semicolon, you will not get the result on the command window. So if you have to make sure that there is no semicolon on the right hand side of the step info. Now after this you just run it. Okay, so for this example we have kept zeta equal to 1, so it is a very sluggish system. Okay, it's critically damped system. Now you use kp equal to 1. Kp equal to 1 means there is no change. Okay, so it is like you are using nothing. It is just at the normal, there is no kp, so you can see what the system will be. I have just run the system. It'll take some time and it will show the graph. Now we'll wait for the graph to appear, the figure to appear, then we'll see the result, how it behaves. Now you see that it is a very sluggish system, so the output takes the input takes some time to reach the output. Okay, so from the info you can see the rise time, the settling time is 0.0058 seconds. Okay, so for this after 0.0058 seconds here. Okay, there is there is some settling inside, and slowly it reaches 1. Now we'll check what is the effect of using a kp. Okay, now let's say kp in place of 1 you place kp equal to 2. Okay, now you see what happens. Okay, you can see now the shape of the graph changes, and there is now a overshoot. You see there was no overshoot, now there is an overshoot, and you can see the settling time has reduced to 0042. Okay, now you go on increasing kp to 5. 25 will be too much as of now. Okay, make kp equal to 5. You can see the output. Okay, it is much more oscillatory, and you can see the settling time is slowly reducing. So if you go on increasing kp to 50, it will be much more faster. Okay, so the settling time you can see is slowly decreasing. Okay, but the system is now become much more oscillatory. The settling time is now, it's not decreasing that much. Now this what happens is that the peak overshoot is increasing and there are much more oscillations. So you cannot just go on increasing the kp value. There is certain limit. Okay, you have to check that what is that limit, so that there is not not much more peak overshoot, but the it also settles very fast. The rise time also reduces rapidly. Okay, so this the settling time and the rise time, you can monitor the how this kp value affects the system. Okay, so this is the second order with a p controller. I will share you this code. So but as of now you need to understand how this code works. Okay, so we'll continue with the next set of experiments. Next we are going to study on the PI controller. This is the block diagram of a PI controller. So what you can see here is that along with the proportional P controller, we have one more Ki, or the integral controller, given by Ki by S. If you remember, in Laplace transform 1 by S, it denotes integration in time domain. So this what is happening is that the error signal coming from this here is being taken by P, by the Kp and Ki, and they are added together, and this becomes the total addition of this signal becomes the actuating signal for this plant. For this plant, they are given by the open loop transfer function. Okay, so that with different values of Kp and Ki, the will it will affect the values of the output response. Okay, so here is the transfer function given from the Kp and Ki values. Okay, from this transfer function we are going to write the MATLAB program. The MATLAB program is exactly similar here, only the Ki is introduced and the transfer function just changes, and we have just included the Ki. So let us see how the MATLAB function, how this Pi transfer function uh, it behaves in MATLAB. Just as the previous experiment with the proportional controller, the MATLAB code for this PI controller is just the same, where we have only used a new variable Ki, and the variable has been used in the transfer function G. You can see Ki being introduced here as well as here. Okay, just following the uh, following the transfer function formula given by this expression. Okay, so you have just within the transfer function formula, and we have the experiment, the code, MATLAB code remain just the same. So we'll run the experiment. Okay, we'll wait for the figure to arrive. So you can see using the same thing, the you can here see the rise in overshoot with different value, with the value of Ki equal to 10, Kp equal to 2, and zeta equal to 0.1. Now how this Kp and Ki is influencing the function, the normal uh, normal closed loop transfer function, that we'll see if we use Kp equal to make Kp equal to 1. Okay, if you make it Kp equal to 1 and Ki equal to 0, so this could be the original the original response. Okay, so let us make this a very slow response by making zeta equal to 1. So if you make zeta equal to 1, it is a very slow response, a critically damped response. Okay, you can see the output that it is a critically damped one. So you have run the system with, you can see this becomes a critically damped one, just as the previous one. So what we do is that we increase the value of Ki. Okay, now what we do is that we increase Ki to, let's say, 10, and see what happens. you can see that use of ki, the error is now becoming positive. It is going beyond 1. Okay, now if we go on increasing the value of ki to, let's say, 100, let us see what happens. Okay, so you can see there is a peak overshoot, but a slow steady, it will fall down to 1. But when we increase the value of kp, it becomes oscillatory. So it make kp equal to 2, and you can see the system becomes oscillatory. Okay, it will slowly turn out to be oscillatory. Or you can reduce the value of ki. Okay, so according to what are here the code is, you have used kp2 and ki is 100. Okay, so if you use that value of kp2 and ki 100, kp ki 100, and with the zeta of zero point 0.1, just according to this, zeta is 0.1, zero point 0.2, sorry, zeta is 0.2. You can see the response. Okay, how the kp and ki behaves. You can see, go on and see the different values of kp and ki. You can go and reduce the value of ki to 0.001, and you can even check that value also. So you can have an idea how this kp and ki is there, and how it affects the system. More, if you are not getting the values from the graph itself, you can check the step info, and step info tells you what is the rise time, settling time, everything. So you can have a track. So this program is just only for a given value of zeta and kp and ki. You can use your own value and check for yourself. Okay, so we'll continue with the next experiment. The next part of the experiment is the PD controller, and to find the step response of it. Okay, so just as the PI controller, you'll have a parallel branch of this variable KD, and the as uh, as in the previous section where it is divided by S, here it is multiplied by S. So this is a differentiator. So it is a proportional constant, and this is the derivative constant. As we know that if you multiply with S, it is a differentiation in the time domain. So these are two controllers that is being placed in front of this open loop transfer function, and now we are going to see the effect of using these two constants. Okay, so here is the total transfer function, where we see that the omega square n whole square this omega n whole square is multiplied by kp plus skd. Okay, now we'll write the same code in the MATLAB, and we'll see the result. Okay, so let us go to MATLAB and see the result. Just as similar to the previous controllers, this is the PD controller, the code for the PD controller. All the codes remain the same, except we have used the constant KD here, and the KD is being used in writing the transfer function. You can see the value of KD being added. KD is multiplied by S, so this is the differential controller. Okay, now we are going to check the value of check the output. So provided the output here is putting zeta equal to zero point 0.2, kp equal to 2, kd equal to 0.001. Okay, so kd will put 0.001, kp2, and zeta is 0.2. So after running the system, we'll check for the figure. So it becomes a unstable system. You can see the amplitude is far larger at the end. So let us change the value of kd here to 0.01, and let us see. So this is the even if you use KD of 0.1 and KP2, we can have an oscillatory system, but it is still stable. Okay. Lastly, we'll look at the PID controller. Well, all the three controllers are added together. You can have the differential controller where you have S is being multiplied. We have the integral controller where S is being divided, and the KP is the proportional controller. You can see all these three controllers are added together before the plant. So the error signal is being multiplied by all these things, all these controllers, and they're added, and this becomes the actuating signal for the plant. Okay, so this becomes the total control, the transfer function. Now we are going to represent this transfer function in MATLAB, and we are going to see the result. The code of the MATLAB is exactly the same, but the where we have used KP, KD, and KI, and this is the expression for the new transfer function. So let us go to MATLAB and check the output. So here is the MATLAB program for the PID controller. As you can see, the entire code is just the same, only that we have used KP, KI, and KD here in this section, and here the same expression is being placed here. Okay, so these are the two expressions, the two changes only for the PID controller. So we can start the same experiment, and with Kp equal to 2, Kd equal to uh, 0.1, Kb 0.01, Ki equal to 10. We can find out the response, the step response using these controllers. So I'm going to run the program. So you can see the output of the program with those given values. So you can go on changing the value. You can make KD equal to zero point 0.1. Okay, you can make KD equal to zero point 0.1 and then check the values. What will happen if the KD becomes 0.1? You can also check the values there. So you can see the different effects of the changing the different parameters of the controllers. The theory behind this will be dealt in the class. So as of now, you have to do the experiments. So you can go on go on changing the different values of Kp, Ki, and Kd, and see the result. You can check the you can compare with the normal transfer function. Let's say how will you write the normal transfer function, and see in the normal transfer function what I'll do, I'll just write it here. I'll just copy this line and make it G1. G1 is nothing but the normal transfer function without the controller. Okay, so this KPKI part will not be there. Okay, and moreover, this the denominator would change. This would be S, and this would be S squared. So G1 becomes the transfer function without the controllers. So you can compare G and G1. Okay, so you can write in step of G comma G1. So you can compare these two together. Okay, what was the uh, what was the effect? You can see if you click the legend, this button, you can see this one is G1, the red one is G1, and this is G. You can see the using this PID controller, the output is much faster. Okay, for the G1 without the controller, it is much more slow. Okay, using the PID controller, it is much more faster. You can zoom in and see the expression. You right click on it and you take horizontal zoom and you zoom in within this section. Okay, so you can see there is a gradual rise using the PID controller. So similarly, if you want to change the value of the different KP and KI, you can, if you want to increase the value of KP to, let's say, 10, and you can see what is the change compared to the transfer function without any controller. You can see again there is a much more faster uh, fast the system is much more faster and reaches the unit step function much very fast than the normal transfer function. Okay, so you can do these experiments and you can check the values from here only. In the command window we can have the rise time and the settling time, so you can see the effect of changing the different KP, KD and KI. For example, but in order to, for the experiment for this lab, you can use this data given in your lab manual as KP at z equal to 0.2, KP2, KD 0.001 and KI 10. Okay, so this is the end of this lab. Thank you.